Another camper update. So I've got the wheel wells in. They're not in place yet, like they're not secured in place. They're where they're gonna be, but they haven't been screwed down to the floor yet. Once that happens, I can finish caulking the bottom of the wall on both sides. I finished everywhere except in between the scratching posts on both sides. And then once it's secured in place, I will put the insulation in there and then cover it with carpet, both of them. This one has the cat door, so it'll be a nice landing perch for them when they come in. So I could just kick myself for this. That water damage there. There on the other side of the wall, like on the outside of the wall, there is a vent where the fridge would vent out of when there was a fridge here, because this was the kitchen right here. I did not put the vent cover back on, and we had a week straight of rain, and it was really bad. So thankfully that was all the damage that happened, but yeah, that should not be there. I should have fixed it before the rain came. I knew the rain was coming. I just slacked off. Anyway, I have it on now. I have all the vent covers on the outside now. But anyway, it is what it is. So the other thing I've done is the posts, the boards at the top of the scratching posts, I painted those white so they blend with the walls a little bit better. And then I painted the ceiling gray. I had the gray from the house that we rented in Wyoming right before we moved here to Colorado. I hate the gray. I really hate that gray specifically. But I was never going to use it for anything else. This was all the paint I had. It wasn't very much. It was less than a quart. So I decided to just go ahead and use it. And this ceiling was multicolored because they put different pieces of wood up there, replacing stuff that had gotten water damage. So anyway, now it's all one color at least. It still doesn't look great, but it looks way better than it did. And I have a little bit of touch up that I need to do here and there because I got white paint on the gray ceiling after I finished the ceiling. I do have just a touch left of that paint. I have enough to touch it up, so. I used up all my white on the wood, so those will be 2 quarts that I used up and can get out of my stash, which is nice. So I think it looks a lot better. I didn't get in there in that little groove. That's alright. So these white boards, we bought them, they were half price because of this water damage. Every single one of the 12 boards, I think there were 12 boards that we bought, they all had this water damage on the edges. So anywhere that we weren't able to get rid of that raw edge has it. And most of them don't show it, I don't think, but that one definitely does. This little piece I left it outside in the rain, so it got a little water damage, but it was a perfect fit for that spot, so I used it anyway. I just kind of have to think of this as a shed, so I try not to be too picky about it. Sometimes it bothers me, sometimes it is okay, but anyway, so there's some water damage here, but the caulking looks terrible. I've got it like all here, the caulking residue. So I was hoping that it would cover the seams, cover some of our marks from the cutting that we did, because this was all one piece here, and we had to cut the angle, the rounded angle, and then we had to cut the windows out as well. So some marks are visible in various places. The caulking was mainly to seal out any possible water damage smells, any mold smells that were left in the wall. There's insulation in the walls and they've probably soaked up the smell. For the most part, I think the caulking is alright. It didn't cover it up and make it look better like I was hoping it would. So a little disappointed, but whatever. I just have to be okay with it. And then back here, this wood up here is really in pretty good shape, so we didn't bother worrying about that. So it's just going to be the original wood tone until I decide that I want to paint it, which may or may not happen, I don't know. Because I painted up here in this ceiling. See, I've got touch up I gotta do. But I put the painter's tape here and it came off. So I'm not really sure I want to paint the other wood back there, because the cats use their claws on things and I don't know if it's gonna hold. So anyway, it's coming along, I guess, but that's that. You know, looks alright in some spots. I like how it closed up the seam on the floor. And the last thing, which I just finished today, was the carpet on the scratching posts. So there's 4 of them. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's a gray carpet. I like this gray. I wish that the paint on the ceiling was this gray, but oh well. It is what it is. But I like how they turned out. They turned out pretty good. So far, I guess it's my favorite part, because yeah, it's a color I like. It doesn't have all the imperfections of everything else that's in here. But all in all, I mean, my cats are going to be happy in here, especially once I finish all the little fun projects, which won't happen until after they're in here. But I want, this folds down into a bunk, a full twin-size bunk. And that's going to have a rope bridge that goes over to here. And there's another bunk. That's the backboard for the bunk. So I'm going to get that bunk put back in. And the rope bridge is going to go between the two. And then of course they'll have all the places they can look out the windows. Now they do have, or will have, access to the outside. That's why we have the cat door. But on winter days when it's cold and snowy and gross outside, or the spring when it's all muddy and they don't want to be out there in it, then, you know, they can have a nice place to look outside and see the squirrels and mice and whatever's out there. So they can enjoy that even if they don't want to go outside. Which I'm happy about. There's lots of windows. They're all little, but there's lots of little windows that they can look out of. And I think on this wall here, I'm going to do like a cat castle kind of a thingy. Something that will have lots of little nooks and crannies and things to climb on and jump through, and little places to sleep that are out of the way. So I think that will be fun and they'll enjoy that. And I don't know exactly what else I'm doing. I know for sure those 2 things, and they'll like those. And then I'm going to have a futon over here. It's an extra futon that we bought for our dogs. We bought 2 of them for the dogs. And they really only ever used one. So we've only had one inside, and the other one we've kept in a trailer that we never open. So anyway, the futon's going to go here, and it's not wide enough for the whole thing. So I think I'm going to make little tables for each end, which will go up to the window levels. So again, they can just lay there and look out the window if they want to. So I think it will be good. I mean, they don't care what it looks like. That's just me. So anyway, and that black line there on the wall, I measured wrong. I traced our first panel with this rounded edge here. I traced it wrong. So that line is from my tracing, and we needed to use the board, so got the line on it. Again, oh well, it is what it is. The cats won't care, and they'll be in here more than me. I'll be in here quite often too, visiting with them and playing with them and just sitting with them. But anyway, that's the trailer right now. And I think in the next week or 2 it should be done, and they can come in here and enjoy the breeze that goes through here and being able to catch whatever their heart desires out there. It's getting close.